I hope you guys enjoyed the video on the well rod pistol, which is a true gun of spycraft.
Espionage craft.
And speaking of which, people often say that we could be spies.
Often. I get it all the time.
Think about the traits. Deadly.
Check. Ruggedly handsome. Sex appeal.
Can seduce any woman on the planet, verified.
Can fight a bear with my bare hands.
So with that said, allow us to take you into the world of 1911 Syndicate spycraft. Check this out.
Yeah.
Nope, put it back. I.W. Harper, 15-year. That's good stuff.
Dude, we need to go. We gotta go.
All right, kiddo. Don't speak unless spoken to. You're just out of the academy. Spycraft 101 starts now. Let's see what Q's got. Q. Yo, dude, who are you?
G.
Where's Q?
He's dead.
Dead?
Yeah. Hang gliding accident. Last week.
Jesus Christ.
We weren't told anything.
We didn't get invited to the funeral.
Yeah. And you are agents 19 and 11. Not exactly top of your class, but
We were
you'll certainly do
what
for
they
this occasion.
considered good enough. So we are in need of weaponry, discreet.
Low profile.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Easy to carry in an urban environment.
exactly.
Quickly deployable. Something that you could say, open in a flash.
With a flick of the wrist.
Sweet Moses.
Yeah. Maybe it takes your standard SIG P320 magazines.
Okay.
Easily operated by this here charging
Charging
handle.
handle on the side. Yep.
Easily foldable for concealment. So, and then of course, optics ready, easy to carry, easy to deploy.
Word.
Nothing overly complicated about it.
Okay.
Something I think you two can manage.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a lunchbox.
Yeah.
It is lunchbox-esque.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Well-
you look like you could be hungry. I don't wanna thin up there.
We'll go find the fondue spot you've been asking about. So,
Fondue.
all right. Well, thanks for the demo of this thing. We're gonna go hit the spy trail there, and
Anything else?
we'll see you.
No, you need help.
I need a pen.
Don't touch the pen. Don't
Okay.
never touch the pen.
I don't need a pen.
Did I tell you to touch things?
No, sir. Sorry.
You have no idea how close to death we all just came.
It's a
Please.
pen.
It's not just a pen. It's never what it seems.
All right. Walk away. All right, G. We'll see you later, man.
You guys, sure you don't think that
Nah.
I'm with?
We're good, man. No, I do
Fix
appreciate
that.
it, but you stay in the lab. Keep doing lab shit.
Good.
There's no limit to how much baby oil you can have.
I guess. I thought there would be, but
There's
I mean,
not.
you are my mentor.
Emergency preparedness.
So, yeah. Yo quiero queso. Queso?
Fondue.
Is that right?
Good times, man. Okay, remember your training? I don't want you to look behind you, but at your 6 o'clock, I think we picked up a tail.
Right there? That one? You're telling me it's a tail? It's a woman in a red shirt.
The woman in the red dress is always the tail, idiot.
Well, she's coming over here.
We gotta go.
What about the queso?
Don't worry about the queso. The queso is, first of all, it's called fondue. We'll catch it another day.
Well,
Leave the beer. Someone else will eat the fondue.
all right.
we gotta get to the water to E&E.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. We're gonna do a water exfil?
Yeah, you remember the code word? Schnitzel. Yeah, so bad news, sir. Trainee. Yeah, the big guy. Yeah, dead. Yeah, dead. It's a little complicated. We were E&Eing out of tune, and he jumped into the river in full camis, and yeah, he's dead. I am okay, slightly stressed right now, but I mean, I'll get by, and we'll find a new trainee. Those guys are a dime a dozen. I guess we will talk about the BWC now as we enjoy a nice brewski out here on the courtyard.
Very refreshing.
Yes. A rare time of us getting to mix beer and firearms
and
videos.
what we do.
This is great because no firearms are present. But so anyway, guys, before we get into this very interesting, very niche gun, couple quick thank yous to Shooting Surplus for sponsoring the video. Code 1911 saves 5%.
Off the entire website.
So on let's just say a $3,122 item, 5% would add up to
$157.34.
Absolutely agree. So you can check that out. Use that code, save you some bucks. Ammo typically comes from US Brass House. Thank those guys for the support. 2 codes, 1911 and Syndicate, saves you 40 bucks.
Correct.
You can go do all that good ammo things, and then yeah, any other support you guys want to lend, hey, we're happy to receive it, whether it's helping you with your real estate deals or Patreon donations or merch or
you just
whatever.
want to send us cash.
Yeah, you just mail us
we'll take that.
a bag of cash is fine with us.
Sure.
So let's do this, guys, as we talk about spycraft and B&T
espionage
and their sort of relation to that subject matter. B&T is a company that makes highly niche products.
I mean, the niche of the niche, I would say.
For a big company, but for like a known
Correct.
company to make such niche products is fascinating to
And
me.
pretty unheard of. I mean, to the point where if a project is presented and say someone wants 10 of these niche products, they're like, yeah, sign us up, we got you.
Yeah, we'll do it because
Now-
we think it sounds cool.
And imagine, other companies may use the excuse it's not worth the time, it's not, it's too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
B&T thrives, and actually I think they enjoy doing those things.
They genuinely do. And so if you think about it, right, niche, actual guns that they make, you've got the TP9, which is a cool thing. We've got the SPR 300 Pro, which is
One of the coolest.
Touted as the most quiet centerfire rifle that there is.
And I would agree.
I would agree based on what I've heard thus far in life. We've got the Station 6, which of course is, we talked about in the previous video, which
Yeah.
is nothing to do with espionage. It is purely for veterinarians when they have
Correct.
livestock that gets out of hand.
Unruly livestock.
Yes, goats jumping too much, things like that. A lot of dedicated suppressors for specific platforms, right?
Several hundred dedicated suppressors.
But of all of that, the BWC-9 is debatably the most niche thing that they've done. It's fascinating.
I mean, it's one of the coolest, if not the coolest, guns, parts, accessories I have seen and had the pleasure to shoot.
Yeah, and so they've sort of internally been referring to it as the Lunchbox gun because when folded up, I mean, like we're gonna foreign country, so of course we're following the rules. But I have no doubt that if that was sitting here on the table, I don't think anyone would give a second look at it.
Not a damn person would know what it is,
They might
because it
go-
looks like a lunch pail.
Might go, I don't know what that thing is, but it certainly is
It
nothing
ain't a
that.
firearm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but BWC technically stands for,
Because we can.
and I didn't know that until we were here. I had a vague education on the gun just from, the internet, if you will. But
Yeah.
when I heard, I didn't know why it was called BWC. And when I heard that, I was like, because we can. And I was like, well, that kind of says it all.
See, and I thought BWC would be like Brugger's weapon of choice.
Sure.
That's what my mind came up with, and I was like, well, of course, that makes sense.
Which is actually kind of cool, too.
Right, and they can pay me $20 for that if,
Yeah, royalties.
copyright. But I think because we can is much cooler.
It's cool. And I think that look, part of our job, or not job, but,
This is a job.
well, I mean, I guess it's a job, but we're not being.
We pay to go to.
Yeah, we're not being paid by B&T to be here. We're not
Correct.
being, any of that. We're here on our own accord as a guest.
Correct.
But so the thing came about, virtually everything that B&T makes is because someone requested it. So
Yes.
there's virtually nothing that they make where they just go, I've got an idea, one day let's do that. It almost all comes from, hey, we're a professional organization, or even, from our conversations with them, hey, I'm a guy, but I'd like you guys to make 10 of this thing. And if they think it's cool, they're probably going to be like, yes. Now, please don't all of our viewers start hitting them up and be like, hey, can you design me a brand new thing that's one of one? Please stop that right now. But
Stop.
yes. Now, I understand some of you guys are going to see the BWC and you're going to want to reference the Magpul gun. And look, I get it. There are similarities there for sure, but we're also not here to talk about Magpul, so we'll move on from that. Just so that I do understand that there are similarities there
We
between
acknowledge
the two
it.
platforms. So let's talk a little about how this thing works, right? So obviously, we'll show you some footage now, given that it is not here with us. When configured, right, it's really interesting because you have a top, essentially carry handle. Right?
Yeah.
Which underneath you have a light. Or I'm sorry,
Aim
an
point
optic.
acro.
Right. You
Correct.
have an aim point acro, which is, to my understanding, will actually come with the package. In
That's
the
what
US.
I understand also.
Yeah. So the relationship between B&T and Aimpoint is a very strong one. Like, these are two brands that I think, without exception, every gun that we've seen from B&T since we've been here has an Aimpoint on it.
And I would say they go together like cheese and wine.
Peanut butter and jelly, man.
Well, cheese and wine.
Cheese and wine.
Come
bread,
on, sir. Peanut butter and jelly?
bread and melted cheese. How
There
about
we
that?
go. Some
Okay,
fondue.
Fondue.
Right?
Okay. So I believe it will come with an acro. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure once it hits the U.S. market, it will. So essentially, you have a carry handle, right, with an acro underneath it. You will, when it's folded, just so you guys understand, you will see where the muzzle is. You'll see a hole, okay? You're going to see a hole, right, which is actually where the bullet shoots out, right? That's where the barrel is.
But it's a flat face surface. There's not a barrel protruding from the BWC.
It is one of the trickier guns, actually the most tricky gun I've ever seen in terms of muzzle awareness, because
It's very, because we're so used to having in our peripheral vision a barrel protruding
looks
from
like a gun.
said
Yeah.
firearm, so we know where to manipulate that. However, with it being a lunchbox, or like, let's take this for example. Say the hole is on this side.
Yeah.
I may just be talking here, muzzling everyone,
yeah,
because
well,
it
it's
is that
unfolded.
simple.
It doesn't look like anything, and
Correct.
it's like, hey, definitely, if you get one of these, be very cognizant of that.
Muzzle awareness, everybody.
It would also be just as a safety note to all of you to understand if you either wind up at one of these with a range, or if you purchase one, do not carry it with a round chambered.
Correct, like condition 1,
Yeah.
we do not carry a BWC with a round chamber.
Yeah, so you can have a
Full stop.
Yeah, you can have a loaded mag. The
Correct.
mag is not actually all the way seated; it's just in the mag well. But you will not have a round chamber because, hey, you don't want to go down that path.
Bolt forward, no round in the chamber.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So essentially, what you've got is mag in the gun. So it utilizes. You're not actually buying a gun. You're buying an accessory, everyone. It is a part.
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's a part. So it runs on a SIG FCU, fire control unit.
Yep.
From a 320.
Yep.
And it may not be a slam dunk, but it would appear, and I don't even, maybe you know this, maybe you don't.
Go
but
ahead.
They're going to be doing a SIG 365 version of this. So it would actually be even more compact.
I actually did not know that,
Yeah.
which is really fucking cool.
Yeah, so it would be even a bit more shrunk down.
Because then it looks almost, if I'm picturing it properly in my mind, you know how some people have those Galaxy S6 phones or whatever that look like basically a tablet? It would look like a tablet. I shouldn't even brought up a phone. It would look like a tablet.
probably would,
Or
yeah.
a Kindle.
Yeah.
Boom, nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to read, but I've heard of those Kindles.
No, but you know people that do, and that's good enough.
Correct.
So
Man, I'm hyped on that.
pretty cool. So you're
Yeah.
buying an accessory, right? So now what that means is with your 320 fire control unit, you would need to SBR that.
Correct,
This
Form
is,
1.
This is not a pistol. This would at that point be a trigger group that is a short barrel rifle.
Correct.
Which would be the same thing with their
There's other
what are
products
they-
on the market that are similar
I'm
to that.
blanking on their USW. Their
Yes.
Yeah. it
Yeah,
would-
their
would be the
universal
same.
service weapon
Yeah.
is the same thing.
Yeah, it would be the same thing.
Correct.
So essentially, the way this thing folds and is configured, the mag is in the mag well, but not all the way seated. And there's the charging handle, which, you know, if this is the side of the gun, the charging handle sticking out.
But it does
it's going to
fold
be
down.
fold forward.
Yes.
Right. So you basically just flick the charging handle, give a little pop of this thing,
Flick of
and
the
it
wrist.
will all sort of unfold and lock itself into place. You do have to give a little flick just to get a tad bit of momentum behind it.
Yep. And it's far less than you would actually think. I
Yeah.
think, you know, when we were first
Yeah,
kind of going through
momentum
the
works.
manual of arms,
Yeah.
gravity and a little bit of momentum
Yeah.
flips that thing right open.
Yeah. And then so at that point you give it the flick. All you're going to do is just tap the hell out of that mag, right, to seat the mag. For me as a lefty, I'm going to come around like an AK and charge it. For you, just regular charge it.
Now, did you know you can flip the charging handle?
I did not know that.
You're welcome. So we
Yeah.
can disassemble this whole thing and flip, because all B&T products, we can flip charging handles.
Yeah, they're always in.
Why would we not do it with the BWC?
Cool.
So we can flip it to make it more friendly for left-handed individuals. So
Very cool.
I just learned you something, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
You're welcome, sir.
So it's going to run on SIG 320 mags there.
Correct.
Obviously, there's no trigger guard, so that's just one of those things that, like, hey, again, from a you know, just safety, you know, position, like, hey,
Correct.
you need to be very cognizant with this thing. Like, it is a highly niche weapon.
Yeah.
It, like, who is this thing for?
Me?
I truthfully think, you know, if you look at it and you go, okay, who in the civilian market buys this thing? I think you go, people who are just interested in wild shit.
Cool, niche, unique stuff.
Yeah, just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I think it's so neat, and I may never be able to get it again, that I gotta have it. And B&T is kind of almost becoming known as a company, if you will, that they do drops. You know, it's like, hey, 200 of these things just came in, and they're available, right? And so things do sell out very, very quick. They've kind of become that company because they do niche thing in limited numbers that, hey, we're
Correct.
going to make 200, and it's hilarious when you talk to Carl
Bruger.
He's like, yeah, we make 100. If they sell, I don't know, maybe we do more.
And he says, I don't fucking care either way because it's cool.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care either way. Like,
Yeah.
we did it because we thought it was cool. So it's just really, really neat stuff, guys. I know that there was some talk it may come with a dedicated little, like, that little tiny skinny Surefire light, which
Yes.
I will admit
Yeah.
that is not a light that I've ever been particularly, I just don't get it. On that thing, I go, okay, here's
You
finally
have
a
my
use
interest.
here's finally a use for that little pen Surefire light.
Yeah.
That I've never known who would buy that thing.
Yeah, but
Actually
again,
makes sense here.
Completely.
Yeah.
So
The whole thing, guys, is super interesting. A couple questions that I had going in that you may have that we can clarify. So one, the downward slope of the stock, right? When you first see it, you're almost like,
what is this?
you
know?
you're like, is it gonna work?
Yeah.
Like, is my head just gonna be floating looking for a
Yeah.
dot? No, it's actually angled like that because the dot is so low, of course, that you wind up with this perfect cheek weld.
The first time I shot it, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to kind of float this gun a little bit. You actually get, and I'm not blowing smoke at anything, you actually get a decent little cheek weld,
You do.
especially on a tablet-sized firearm.
Yeah, like you literally just go cheek all the way down on that
Yeah.
downward slope, and it's like you will pick up your dot easily.
And that acro, I think, is bar none the only optic that goes.
Oh,
with it. You want to throw an RMR in there? You're wrong. I'm sorry.
No.
You do an aim point acro.
Not to mention, also think about it like this: an RMR starts to look to me like a gun accessory.
Exactly.
An acro looks like a mailbox,
Which you know,
is what people make fun of it for. But
Yeah.
on that, something that looks nondescript again, that's the point of it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd compare that to that's not a firearm accessory as far as like the acro, but it just does not look like an accessory if you're not into firearms.
Yeah.
Correct? Or an optic if you're not into firearms, sorry.
Yep.
So.
A couple questions that I had.
Yeah.
You cannot fire it from the closed position.
Nope.
One of the things I wanted to know going in, like, is there
Yeah.
some button on the carry handle that you hit and it just shoots around out the front? No.
No.
So you do have to actually unfold it, mag, chamber, and then you can send it.
Yeah,
right?
and actually the bolt has to be forward to even collapse the gun down.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
fold the gun back down with the bolt
Yeah.
locked to the rear.
So it's almost impossible to actually screw up putting it back together.
yeah.
And there's a little lever at the back of the grip where, hey, once obviously the gun's clear, make sure you got an empty chamber. You unseat the mag about a third of the way, so the mag will hang out about that much.
2.5, 3 inches.
Because then the grip basically flips and indexes, and then the whole butt of the thing then folds up.
Yep.
And collapses, which is,
Yeah.
when I first saw it on Instagram, they posted it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't actually get how it all goes
I just don't
together.
get it. Yeah.
And when you see it in person, it's pretty intuitive. And the funny thing is, it doesn't even seem like it's that complicated. It just seems like it's incredibly niche, and it took someone who appreciates niche things to even attempt to make it.
Correct. Yeah.
So, but, so let's see. Anything else? Like, look, I would just say, hey guys, in terms of distance, how far you're shooting this thing, not very far. It's a PDW.
Yeah, don't ask me that question either, because like,
Yeah.
when you guys see it, if that is the question you have, like, guys, it's the wrong question. This is not to be a 100-meter
No.
firearm
No.
by any means whatsoever.
Ridiculous. I'm not sure the barrel length. I'm pretty sure that it actually takes a slide from a SIG carry, like a SIG carry.
Oh, really?
Slide.
Okay.
It's, my understanding is,
Okay.
is underneath that, I think there's a SIG carry slide.
Oh, okay.
Which
Cool.
would mean the barrel length is probably in the neighborhood of about 4 inches.
I was going to say 375.
Yeah, ballpark at
Yeah.
least. So you go, hey, look, that is as far as you could shoot a pistol comfortably. That's about how far you could plan on shooting that
Yeah.
thing. Actually, probably a little bit further, because again, you do have 3 points of contact.
3 points
now.
of contact.
Yeah,
man.
so-
and it
so
is
you-
very stable, and the recoil is,
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
it's
that
pretty
dot
minimal.
moved centimeters
Yeah.
inside of that window.
Especially understanding how lightweight the thing is.
Yes.
You know, it's not a big brick of metal. Like the thing's, I don't know all the materials, in there. We've had limited time to learn.
Space
but
age stuff.
Yeah, it's probably a bunch of polymer and some reinforced steel and stuff like that.
Way
But,
above my pay grade.
yeah. But look, it's neat, guys. This is not meant to come here and even particularly do a review. I mean, what we are shooting today is a prototype.
Prototype, yep.
And, it's like, hey, this is not a video to say, we've shot 1,000 rounds and this is what it's like. It's like, no, look, here's a cool thing. It should be coming to the U.S. They'll probably be in very limited numbers.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the price point's going to be. But again, it's an accessory. It may or may not come with an acro. But it's B&T, it won't be cheap. But again, you don't have to, it's not a firearm. So, if you got a 320 laying around, cool. Take out the FCU and put in follow your proper laws and, rock and roll.
Yeah, follow your proper local, state, and federal gun laws. But, a big thing nowadays in especially B&T, but other, just in general in the firearms industry, is modular things. This is another modular accessory that goes with your other modular accessory that goes with your other modular accessory. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So
Check it out, guys. I don't know exactly when they're going to be in the States. Just keep in touch on their Instagram and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure there'll be announcements. I know Shooting Surplus as a B&T dealer will probably
Correct.
get some of them, so
Yeah.
you can check that out and knock 5% off while you're at it.
yeah,
So
and maybe we, encourage you guys to encourage B&T to make more.
I don't even know how many they're making.
I don't know either, but say it's a limited number, we encourage them to make more and more and more.
Well, if they sell well, they'll make more. So,
yeah. So
so
very
anyway,
cool.
guys, thanks for tuning in. A little bit of a different style video today.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you next time.
Take care.
You said schnitzel.